Hi guys! In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a cover for your remote control. This one in particular is like metal and it's really cold, so I made a little cover for it, and my husband suggested that maybe I show this as a beginner tutorial, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea because it shows a nice technique on how to make like a pocket to set something in. So I'm going to show you this technique now. Now, you want to use acrylic or some kind of yarn that has a little bit of stretch. Acrylic yarn is that kind of yarn. And I'm going to use a small hook. This is a size C hook or a size 3mm hook. This is like one of the smallest ones that I can work with. So I'm using this with worsted weight yarn, which is 4-ply for the US, 10-ply for Australia, and a pair of scissors. And that's all that you're going to need. So first off, I want to find the end of my yarn because I just grabbed this one and came in here. Okay, there we go. Oh, also it's going to help to have some kind of marker of some kind. So a piece of yarn or something like that. Help you keep control or count of your rows. Okay, so your idea behind this, you want it to have some stretch. So what I did is I did a chain just to cover the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 should cover the front. You want it to stretch, so you don't really want it to go over the sides right now because you want just that front cover to be from this front side to the other front side. You just want to cover the front. Don't go along the sides. So however many chains it takes to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like it has 7, 8 actually. Takes me 8 to go all the way along the top, just the top. Now it can slightly go over on this side because you're going to lose one chain when you start your single crochets, and I am slightly just one over. So when you've got it the width that you need, you're going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook and then crochet down your chain. Now we're going to be working with both sides of this chain. So we're going in one side now, but in a minute we're going to be going down the other side. Okay, so we did our single crochets in the very first stitches. So you start second chain from the hook and crochet down your chain. Then you want to turn and put another single crochet in that same stitch, same last stitch. Then turn again, because now we're going to be working on our opposite side of our chain. So again, in that same last stitch, you want to put another single crochet. So the very last stitch of your row should have 3 single crochets in it. Then you're going to be using the bottom of your chain, and I'll see if I can show you as best I can. These little pieces of string here, here. See these little pieces that are coming up? These are your stitches that you're going to be using this row. This one, this one. And you're going to be using, this is the very first one right after we did our 3 single crochets. So this one will be our first one. We're going to enter there and do a single crochet. Then we'll find the next one. Then find the next one. Till you get all the way down your row. You can count, this is the very last one of this row. So we have 1 in the stitch here and 1 on the stitch here, but remember we need 3 on the very last stitch. So we need to add 1 more to end our row. And now if you want, you can place a marker in your very first stitch, just so you know that that's where your row begins. Now you want to start your second row. Back up slightly here. Oops. Okay, you want to start your second row going right into that very first stitch of your row, and then continuing down. Now you're going to be working one whole round, so you just essentially doubled your stitches plus 2 because you added those extra stitch on each side. This row you just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and you can see how it's starting to curl up around my finger now. Best if you can try to keep your stitches as tight as you can. That way it'll have more grip. After you do this for a few rows and your piece is really curling good, then you can flip it inside out. I usually try to make sure that I get these stitches good and tight here on the bottom, because it really makes a difference for the rest of it. So I like to do at least a couple of good tight rows before I flip it inside out. So I'm reaching my marker. This is the last stitch of my row. So now you can turn it inside out. I'm going to reposition my marker. Same stitch. So I know that this is the end of my row, but I'm going to make it to where it's only on this side. Pull it through where there's a loop, and then you can pull the tails through, and you have a pretty nice snug tail right there. And now you just want to do single crochet in each stitch around. And you just want to keep doing that. And I would say if it starts to feel like it's getting a little bit too wide here on top, then maybe doing a decrease here or here every so often, just to make sure it keeps it tight. And if you don't know how to do a single crochet decrease, I'll show you real quick. You don't want to make it in the center, you want to make it somewhere on the side here. So these are my side stitches here. If you want to do a decrease here, you want to insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then your yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and then just continue as normal. And you can, that's how you can make it a little smaller if you need it to, you know, have that extra grip. But all I did was just single crochet all the way up, decreasing if I felt I needed to, until I reached up to this point in my remote. And even that kind of stretched and came up, so I almost wish that I would have reduced to 1 more row. So you keep that in mind, that it may, don't do right at perfect, because then this one may stretch over. So you may do 1 row short of what you need. Okay, I've gone and done a few more rows. I'd say about halfway. And then I'm going to go ahead and try it on there. It's a little looser than I would like, so I'm going to go ahead midway point, and I'm going to add a decrease on this side, and then I'm going to go to my other side and make a decrease as well. So I'm going to single crochet until I get to my other side here. So I made a decrease on that side, and now what I mean is the side, not the front. So I did a decrease on this side, and now I'm going to do a single crochet decrease on this side. Then I'm just going to continue to do a single crochet in each stitch around, and after a few rows I'll try it again to see if I like the way that it looks before your piece gets too big and you can't make adjustments. Okay, I did a few more rows. Now I just want to check it again to make sure that it's for size and tightness. That's a good tightness. maybe one more decrease, and I would say maybe a couple more rows. So I'm going to keep going until I get to my side here, do one more decrease, and then I'm going to do a single crochet for a few more rows until I can get it to at least up to where I need to be. Do my decrease here. Because remember, you want it to be slightly smaller than you need it to be so it really hugs. And it's a very small project, so it doesn't take, I think I'm going to do another decrease on this side too. And do a decrease on both my sides. I'm just afraid to make it too small. But I also want it to grip. Okay, so I did one more. Let's see if I made this too small now. No, it's got a tight fit now. That ain't gonna slip off so easily. Looks like maybe one more row. I want to make sure I make this one a little smaller than my last one. The other one I wasn't making to teach or anything, just making it. Okay, it looks like it's pretty even on the top. Though it shows that I need, that my marker's here. My top is even. So if I keep going, it's going to make it uneven. So right now I have a flat top. So I think I'm going to back out to my side. Okay, I can see that this is slightly higher than this one. So this is probably more my beginner stitch because your beginning stitch is here, but then it goes diagonal. So which means my beginning stitch is probably this one right here. See how the stitches don't go up and down? They go diagonal. So you can count diagonal like this to find out where your first stitch is. So I'm going to go ahead and take my marker out. Even at the top here, make sure that this fits where I need it to. If it's hard to get in there, that's good because it's going to hold it. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here because last time I did that one row up. It didn't look good. And I think this time I'm going to add a little finish to the last row just to add a little look to it by just doing simple slip stitches. So I'm just going to go into my next stitch and just slip stitch and do that to all my stitches all the way around. It's also going to add a little bit more tightness on the top and give it a nice look. So this is my very last slip stitch of the very last stitch, I should say, of my row. As you can see, it added this nice little border around here. Now before I end it, check it again because that slip stitch can make it even more tighter. Yeah, I got some nice stretch on there now. That's going to look nice. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So my very last stitch here is just going to be a slip stitch and a chain. I'm going to cut that yarn here. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my tapestry needle because I always would prefer to hide my tails using a tapestry needle because it really prevents it from coming loose. So I'm going to turn my piece inside out. Maybe. Actually, I think it's good. I don't think it needs to go inside out. I don't see my tail loosen in there either, so just going to hide this tail. Okay, so I'm thread my hook and I'm just going to go down some of the side stitches here. Pull it through. And then cut as close as you can without cutting any of the stitches to remove the tail. This is cool. Now I have one when I wash the other one. Oh, and it fits even better. Looks better too. Nice. And you can put something here like a flower or embroider some colors on there, but it would look really nice. So that's it, guys. I hope that this helped you learn the new technique of crocheting on either side of your stitches, your beginning chain to make a pocket, which I'm sure you'll find helpful in your future of crochet. I hope this helps you. You can use this same whenever you want to make like a handle for a pot or something like that. You can use the same technique. And if you like this tutorial, please don't forget to click like and share this video. It helps me out so much. And don't forget to hit that little bell button on the main, next to the main subscribe button on my YouTube page to always be notified whenever I release a new tutorial. Also, I have 2 groups on Facebook. One is Free Crochet Patterns Only, which is called Crochet for the Masses. And then I have one that anything crochet related for sale or anything else is on a Crochet Zone Public. I'll have both those links down below. Also, I have a PDF shop. I'll have that link. And also, don't forget to sign up for my email blast that I have every week so that you'll always be notified whenever I release anything on my site or on my YouTube. Everything is there. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching.